First off, welcome back to the podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast. I won't lie. What's the name
State
of the
of
podcast, Martin?
we got two names right now: State of Sports or Sports and Culture. I don't know what I'm gonna go with,
Sports
but
and culture is too generic.
yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
probably go State of Sports, but yeah,
All
It's
right.
called what sports?
State of
State of
Sports.
Sports.
State of sports. All right, all right.
Yeah.
So, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to State of Sports. It's your boy CP. I'm here with Mar and Ari. We're gonna talk about some general stuff today, mainly the
It's
NBA.
Ari actually, but these idiots don't know
Ari,
how to pronounce the name.
listen. It's been years, bro. It's been years, bro.
I'm
Forgive
not
us.
gonna lie. I just call you Ari. Like
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Everyone,
Like,
y'all all do that.
I
I,
think we
I,
gotten used to it at this point. Like I haven't heard you correct us in a minute. So
I'm glad he knows that it's not disrespect.
No, I know it's not disrespect. I just know that y'all are idiots.
Yeah, we apologize, but not much of an agenda. I mean, we're gonna talk about basketball. That's gonna be the main focus since we have Ari as a guest today.
yeah.
But just a little, I guess you could say icebreaker for this podcast. I just said that once you learn to lift with your legs and not your back, it is so relieving and freeing. And Ari is trying to get at me for this. It's like I
Nah.
get it.
The only
All I
reason I
need is
learned
my
about
best
that
to do.
Nah, the only reason I learned about that is because I used to work at UPS and they fucking drilled that shit into
It
your
took
brain.
it took you till then, bro.
Yes, bro.
Bro, y'all was not y'all parents did not cuz Mar, like I expected you to know somewhat because like you like from being from Haiti and stuff like
Nah,
I imagine maybe and maybe this is just my perception because this is how I grew up like
Mhm.
being in the Caribbean and stuff and like my family they were like yeah you're a big kid like you go help us and like so I would always like be doing like some menial work and shit like that. I learned from like when I was like 7 or 8 like I lift with my knees or else like
all
walk
right,
over.
hold on. Let
Nah,
me let me let me clarify real quick.
I was just vibing in the field, bro.
Oh nah. Okay, so my parents always said, "Live with your legs, not your back." But as a youngin,
Like you
I'm
ain't
not
really like
I'm not paying attention or like
okay.
practicing, lifting with my legs and not my back. So it's like, but like as of recent, now that I'm older and obviously I understand stuff and I had to lift stuff recently. Yo, it's so relieving, dude. Us.
Bro, let me feel like this. Why do you think my legs is mad muscular? That's the
Mhm.
only thing that's muscular, bro. I was going running around doing all type of
Oh, I'm
stuff
telling you,
when
bro.
I
The
was
other,
young, man.
Now I got some fat thighs and some fucking like I've been going to the gym. I've went to bro. I was doing some leg day, bro, and I caught the meanest cramp, and I haven't done leg day since, bro. I just be doing cardio and like upper body weights, bro. I'm good on that.
You gotta know your limits, man. But like yeah, that's why like my legs was always mad like muscular cuz like even though like, I'm fat, my legs always mad muscular cuz I was always doing shit like that.
It's not even about me knowing my limit, bro. It's that I think I'm still 16 and I don't stretch, bro. Like I don't stretch for anything.
You got yeah, nah, you gotta stretch. Like I
yeah,
can
you
still
guys.
like if I go and play basketball and shit, like I can still get away with it. I don't get like injuries or something like that. I can get away with that, but like something like lifting, I don't take that chance. I can yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and now I
all it
stretch
is
my
with
arms.
basketball, all it is with me playing basketball is like it takes a little bit for me to get like actually warmed up, but I'll be lazy. I just want to go play.
Yeah,
But yeah.
now I stretch like my arms in between like workouts and shit. Like when I'm taking a break doing a set. But yeah, I be catching like the meanest crap at night, bro. And then like I'll have like a fake hamstring injury, and that'll be my excuse not to go to the gym for the day. And yeah,
In all seriousness though, like because you're doing a lot of lifting and stuff, like and Carlton, if you ever like go to the gym and stuff like that and start lifting too, like do a lot of stretching, bro. Like do a lot of stretching because when you get like lifting a lot and shit like that, like and your body gets all muscular and shit, a lot of people they don't stretch, and especially if like you want to like do anything sports related or you do a lot of like manual labor like yeah, that flex you lose like that flexibility if you don't like keep stretching and shit like that.
oh,
exactly.
the worst be when I first started working out. I used to fucking go crazy with like the arm shits. and then I would have to drive to work, bro. Oh my gosh, bro, I couldn't drive, bro. It was literally just, bro. Oh man, it was, bro. I can't even explain, like, bro. Like, I know, like, there's a certain point, like, I can't raise my arm that high, and, like, for some reason, like now, like halfway when I'm driving, like, you know how you're supposed to be 10 and 2. I can't drive like that. I just have my left hand, but like, first, I
Well,
have,
that's fine because if you've been ever been in a car, you know damn near nobody drives 10 and 2.
yeah, and what's it called? And I have like a flat part in my steering wheel, and I just be vibing with my hands in there, bro. But I know that shit is not good because that shit will make me like speed faster. And yeah,
But yeah, that being said, let's get on to the agenda. Predictions for this NBA playoffs.
we should probably
Who wants to
start
start?
with the Timberwolves and Memphis since they're playing right now. It's
Yeah, they're playing right now.
it's 2-2 for the series.
Yeah, it's tied up. It's really interesting. Game one, if you watched it, the Grizzlies got kind of slapped,
I,
right?
I,
And part of that was because well, if we're being honest, everybody was just kind of abusing Steven Adams.
uh,
If you
he
watched it,
hasn't been
everyone was
playing a lot. I
no,
haven't.
he hasn't. He's someone like who's very useful to their team, but he just is not. He's not like the right personnel for the series. He's just a little too slow. He's really strong. He's a good ball handler and passer. Great, good lob threat, good pick and roll guy, but he's just a bit too slow.
Oh yeah,
Defensively for this.
cause Cat isn't like a regular big dog. He be sitting up paint.
Yeah,
He'll
and
take you
even
out on the
on the
perimeter.
perimeter, yeah, and that's a problem. And on top of that, you got Ant Man out there. He's gonna kill him on the pick and rolls. And if
Hmm.
they didn't adjust, shout out to Memphis's coach. I don't remember their name right now, but if he
Oh,
didn't make that adjustment, they were just gonna kill him, man. Like just every time. Steven Adams, the first game I believe he played
Taylor
only like two
Jenkins.
minutes.
They're
Sorry, the second game. I mean, the second game after that first one where things went real bad with him, he only played like 2 minutes. And also, something else that I gotta say, shout out to Steven Adams. Steven Adams always been a cool guy. Everybody who watches the NBA kind of knows it for real now with the whole bubble thing where he was like, hey, we're we're professional athletes. Like it's a hotel, not a concentration camp.
yeah.
But
Shout
yeah,
out to
like
the
Steven Adams.
OKC guys that were toxic and fucking ruined their team.
In all seriousness, like shout out to Steven Adams. He's a really calm guy. He like took the whole, not gonna be really playing this series in stride and was like, yeah, anything, for the team, man.
Yeah. The Timberwolves have kind of been my second team. Y'all know like I'm a big D'Lo
Yeah,
fan.
D'Lo fan, yeah.
So I've been like
D'Lo,
keeping an
man.
eye on them. Like I didn't think I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think they were gonna be as good as they were. And I guess the difference in that team has been Pat Bev, bro. I think he's really changed them from like last year to this
The
year.
culture and stuff,
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's not just Pat Bev though, but overall, the defense of
I think
the
he,
Timberwolves has been really really good.
yeah, like I was like looking at D'Lo, like he plays like real defense now. Like
Yeah,
he'll,
he kind of plays a similar role to Draymond
yeah,
in a way. Not in like he's defending like all five positions or something that,
yeah, I get it.
but like because D'Lo's not built for that. He's like 6'5", 6'6", but he's built like a guard. He's not Draymond. Let's not
Yeah,
get it twisted. But he on defense he plays a similar role where he's like kind of if you watch he's kind of quarterback in the defense and like kind of playing that similar type of role to what Draymond does at times.
yeah. I feel like I would like the Grizzlies more, but man, they talk so much shit, bro. Oh
Oh,
man, oh they
that
talk
what
so
I
much shit.
love it.
I
I
know.
love it.
The thing is, like me, like I don't know about me for like for some reason, like I like certain players, but like I not certain players, like certain teams, but like at some point, like you're gonna make me root against you if you talk that much shit, bro. And like it might be just because they're going against the Timberwolves and Delos there, but maybe if they were playing another team, I would appreciate the trash talk. But like they like if you look at there was like a post saying that John Morant has more tweets than he has field goals made, and I'm like at some point you gotta shut up and play.
I mean, it also. I just like to say, CP. You
Yeah.
know, this man Mar isn't exactly someone to be unbiased. You know, you
Exactly. I
know
was
I'm
about
why
to
not
he's
say I,
feeling
biased.
some type of way
I'm very
about this.
confused that
You
the
know I'm
Lakers
not
fan is
biased.
saying this.
You know I'm
Very
not
Like
confused that
biased.
the Lakers fan is
not
saying
even
this,
that,
man.
not even that. But it's like you are the type of person who 100% would be like, look at him talking shit to my guy. Like
Oh,
you are the type of guy who would do that.
oh, I'm just waiting for the. Oh, let's wait till we get to the Suns. We'll wait till we get to the Suns for my bias to come out.
All
But
right,
yeah,
all right, all
who
right.
do we
Wow.
think is
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
win this
In all
series?
seriousness, though, like look, it's not just that Ja has been playing bad. The Timberwolves have been playing, really, really good defense on him. They've basically been taking the Giannis approach for him, where they're like, hey, like we know that you score a whole bunch of your buckets right there in the painted area.
Hmm.
Like Ja, if you don't know, Ja, he gets out here right, and he is like, I believe he scores the most points in the paint, which is incredible for a guy who is not even 180 pounds. I think all of us here are heavier than he is. And
Oh, I definitely am.
yeah, yet he's out there at 6'2", 170, just attacking the paint like he's 6'8", 250.
I
And they
think
said, hey, we're gonna pack the paint, and you know what? We're gonna treat you like Jordan. We're gonna hit you with the Jordan rules. We're gonna hit you with the Giannis rules.
I think that's a common trait for like athletic guys. So like when they first come in the league, their jump shot isn't always there. Like I know like Ant struggled with that last year, but he's been better this year with like his shooting.
Oh yeah, that's really the what you really need to do, like, right, once you get to that point. Uh and this is something to say, right? Like when I was younger, right, and I didn't know as much, I was like on that whole, oh, the mid range is dead stuff, blah blah blah. No, 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 no. In the playoffs, the mid range is without a doubt not dead. The mid
Yeah,
range is very useful. If you are someone who is elite at getting to the basket, which most really great players in this league are, right, you are someone who they're going to try and pack the paint on you. They're gonna try and load up on you with multiple defenders, right, where you're gonna have one defender on you, right, and everybody is looking at you. Everybody's waiting for you to get there so they can come over and help. And you kind of have to be able to hit shots from that mid-range area if you want to be able to score, because it's just that much harder to get there in the playoffs, especially to
yeah.
that painted area in the playoffs, especially where the calls are real iffy. Let's go with that in the
What's it
playoffs. They're
called? What's that guy on the Magic? I forgot. He's like one of the young kids that they just drafted. R.J.
uh,
Hampton. What's
RJ
it?
Hampton, yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was like a video of like his dad saying like, "We know you can dunk, just like focus on your jump shot." Like in practice, like the only thing he would do is like practice his jump shot. Like if you have a good jump shot, you'll be able to make like you'll be able to play in the league. Like that's valuable to a team. But like if all you are is a dunker, like at some point you're gonna be
Yeah,
limited. Like that's like Montrezl Harrell. Like once he gets to a playoff, like okay, you can dunk. Can you play defense? No. Can
I
you
mean,
can
he
you hit
can
a
get to
jump
the
shot?
rim. But he's not Montrez, as far as I understand, and maybe I'm wrong. He's not an atrocious defender. It's just he's got the misfortune of being a guy who's like, for all that Montrez is tough. I'm not trying to
He's like
disrespect.
a sit
He's
sits power
Yeah,
forward.
he's
Like
6'7". Yeah, he's not got the size for even with the like plus wingspan here, 7'4" wingspan. Like
yeah.
he just doesn't have the size to defend like some of these bigger guys. And the
Ideally at
league.
that height, he would probably be like a shooting guard or a small forward, but he can't hit a jump shot. So you
I
gotta get
mean,
to the paint.
he can, every now and then, right? He can hit a mid range shot, but yeah, he's not a shooter really. But it's just unfortunate for him that we're in an era now where if you're at the 4 to 5, you have to guard someone like Joel Embiid or
Hmm.
uh Jokic, which God forbid, that must be a hell of a time.
Oh yeah, he got cooked in that series a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Jokic is out there. You got Giannis. You got DeAndre Ayton, which a lot of people don't talk about him, but if you watch Suns games, he's just
Yeah,
it's real tough. He's a tough cover, man. Like when he gets in that painted area, that hook shot of his is automatic.
yeah. So who we got in this series? Two well coached teams. Who do we got?
Uh, for Minnesota versus Memphis,
Yeah,
honestly, I don't know at this moment in time.
I think it definitely
Uh,
goes like seven, but
I
because of
think
my bias, I'll go with Timberwolves. I think they'll get it.
that's fair. I think that I think Timberwolves are like a decent choice for this, right?
Hmm.
Though, goddamn, look, whoever at the end of the day, whoever wins this playoff series is just the amount of shit that's gonna be talked, especially for Ja, right? Where
Oh
like Ja's
yeah.
doing all this tweeting, it's gonna be real bad. Like
Hmm.
NBA Twitter is gonna have a field day with this one, my guy.
All right, Carlton, who you got?
Between Grizzlies and who, Timberwolves?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Timberwolves.
I'll be honest. I mean, looking at the Grizzlies, obviously they got John Morant, and that's like the biggest thing going for them. But I do think the Timberwolves have more weapons. As y'all said earlier, like Patrick Beverley coming to the team definitely changed something. I felt like before Pat Bev went to the team, you looked at the Timberwolves as like they have quality, they got some skill, but they're not like a dog team. They're not gonna really get in your face. They're not gonna be the
Yeah.
good defensive team that, let's be honest, in the playoffs you need. You need to hit that next gear. Pat
Hmm.
Bev comes in. Karl Anthony Towns has turned into a whole different person, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Um,
lovely to
It's
see.
kind of like that
yeah,
same
no,
Jimmy Butler effect. Like he brought that dog in that team a couple years
Exactly.
ago. Like you need that dog in the playoffs. As annoying as Pat Bev is, like you need that guy that's
yeah,
gonna fucking talk shit, get in the other guy's
Yeah.
head. Like the guy that you
not
hate to
even
be
just that.
playing. Yeah.
It's not even just that. I think it's also that like Pat Bev, right? Like you're talking about the effect he has on opponents getting into their head and stuff, but you also frankly have, him as somewhat of a leader, which and I know that's kind of a crazy thing, but Pat Bev is really this, a guy aside from Ant, right? For all the talent that the Timberwolves have, he it's not exactly full of strong personalities on that team, like Cat is pretty known for being a real casual guy, and so is
Exactly.
D'Lo. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that being said, definitely it takes a lot having someone. It means a lot having someone like Pat there to be like, hey, like we did real bad yesterday. That wasn't good. Cat, you shot the ball 5 times. What the fuck's up with that? You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
you know what? That's something that really happened in game 2. And you know what? Game 3, Cat came out and he was taking a lot more shots, being a lot more aggressive, making better decisions with the ball. And that definitely, I'm sure that Pat Bev definitely helped. That being said, there's something to be said about the personnel that the Timberwolves have. The Timberwolves have, the guys to be a really good, defensive team. Torian Prince, Jared Vanderbilt, like they have some guys who are some pretty good defenders, like and who are not just good defenders, but they have the height and the length to really defend multiple positions and switch. It's just a very good defensive team in general in terms of personnel. But Pat Bev definitely does add that dog aspect you're talking about.
All right. So we got both. We all three got the Timberwolves moving on then.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
All
I
right.
see it the other way.
What series do we get? I guess we should go into the Nets and
uh,
the
we
the, the Celtics
we
series.
gotta save that for the last. We gotta
All right,
save
all
that for
right.
the
Let's see that for the last
Uh,
one.
last because
I
I got
guess
some things to say.
I get
But
I guess let me get my shit off of the
the
Sun
Suns.
and the Pelican series. First
Oh
off,
no.
I'm happy that we got a couple young Lakers, shining bright. I hate the narrative that like the young guys don't play well with the Lakers until like they go to some other team. Like I think Bi until like he got like the blood clot injuries that year with LeBron, and I think that fucking derailed us. But he was like LeBron was like like throwing him the ball into, not figuratively, I'm not fucking like literally, but like figuratively, like he was like, oh yeah, he's the Nets guy, like he's one of those guys that's coming up. But like yeah, uh but yeah, those Suns fans, man. I remember like a couple last year when
Sons and four.
before AD got
Oh
injured.
my goodness!
You alright?
Sorry, no, sorry. John Moran just destroyed someone at the rim.
Yeah, before AD got injured, we were up like 2-1 in that series, and then AD gets injured. Braun already had that ankle injury he was dealing with, and the series flipped over, and they basically swept us from that point. But yeah, now they're dealing with the same shit with Booker's injury, and the series is basically being flipped to the Timberwolves' favor. Chris Paul is fucking shit. Oh, he is a fucking cheater. We're not going to get that dirty player.
Chris Paul's a cheater.
Oh yeah, he's such a dirty player. Oh, I hate him. I hate him.
he he's not dirty. I
CP3,
wouldn't
hold
say.
on.
I wouldn't say CP3 is a dirty player. I just think he's definitely a rough guy though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gets under your skin. That's the kind of
I
player he
seen
is.
a clip of Bi telling him, "Let's go to the back," and then that
Yeah,
brought
yeah,
the
I remember that.
that brought
Yeah,
like that memory of when him and Ronda were fighting, and Bi just came out of nowhere with his long ass arms and it hit him right in the fucking noggin. But yeah, I'm happy the Sun. I hope the Suns lose. I'm not gonna lie. They've been talking a whole lot of
you don't
shit.
like him.
I had a bet with like a Suns fan on Reddit that they would do worse than the Lakers, and we didn't make the playoffs. So
Yeah, that's
I
so funny.
technically lost that bet, but
You lost. No, you lost the bet. Don't, there's no
yeah.
technically
So
about it.
hopefully they lose, so I can at least talk my shit. But yeah, uh, who do we
I
got?
think the Suns I would have safely said sorry for who we got right
Now you can
for
go
this.
ahead and what you were saying.
I think the we all would have safely said the Suns, and I still think I got the Suns for this one. That being said, unfortunately, Devin Booker is out for 3 to 4 weeks with a hamstring strain, I believe.
Yeah,
Damn.
Yeah, that's real painful. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh no. And
the thing.
I have an Australian friend who is he's a Suns fan,
Mhm.
and he's not no bandwagon. He grew up watching the he's older than us by a decent bit. He grew up watching Nash and everything, right? Which Australia is actually, basketball is actually pretty big there. But yeah, he just when I sent him that in the morning one day, and he just hit me back in the afternoon when it's like, almost nighttime there in Melbourne where he is, and just is like, I don't want to talk about this. He was like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I,
But that being said, I think this goes to about 7.
what's it called? I've had like my not real hamstring injuries, but like with like when I catch my cramps in the middle of the night, I know how that shit feels, and to think about playing basketball on that, oh man, that shit would be pain. But
Ugh,
I
yeah,
think the Pelicans get in like six, or depending on how well the Suns role players play. Cause I know they've been struggling also, like losing like a big scorer of that magnitude. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Oh
I know
It
their
is.
my
coaches. I know their
gosh.
coaches. Monty Williams is a good
Yeah.
coach, so he'll
Shout
figure
out
it
to
out.
Monty.
I'm
That
still
being
sad we ain't get him though.
that being said, I just want to say a little something on the Pelicans, and that is just shout out to the Pelicans, man. Shout out to the Pelicans. Everybody counted them out.
Mhm.
Everybody didn't believe in them this season. They were like, well, next season you guys get Zion back, so hopefully things will get better then. But
Oh
Bi and those guys, and there's something to be said about CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum has been since he's been traded there has really been doing his thing.
yeah.
They've really managed to quickly come together and work together well as a cohesive unit. It's just been fantastic to see. And hey, man,
What do we think about what's going on with Zion? He looks like he's
uh,
300 pounds, man.
nah, I've seen more recent pictures of him. He's definitely gotten better
Yeah.
physically. He
I
he's
think he
still out
need.
there doing between the legs dunks. That's for sure.
I know, like when he lands, it looks like so awkward to him trying to walk after that. I'm like, bro, he got to get down to like at least 260, 250, man.
Yeah,
To at
yeah,
least to his
260.
college weight, like, cause
Yeah,
he
his
can't be
college
doing
weight.
that. He can't be doing all that
But
at that fucking jumping that high at that weight, man. That
yeah, exactly.
that ain't gonna end well.
That being said, with all that being said, I think Zion will be fine, physically for the most part, right? I
Hmm.
can't imagine with all the resources that you have as an NBA player.
That
Uh,
that's like
I
what
can.
my big problem is with him. Like I know like losing weight is like hard and shit, but like you're already an athlete, like, and you're in the NBA. It's like so much easier. There's like easy things you can do, like some things as eating as healthy, just eating healthy, just like doing like little workouts. Like there's different workouts that you can do.
No, no.
That's not hard, but like
I
you
mean,
gotta put the work in at the end of the day. But like
I get what you're saying, but he had a leg injury. You kind of don't really
even
want.
before that though, like it shouldn't have gotten that bad.
It shouldn't have. That I will agree with that. That being said, it is what it is. I
Yeah.
think Zion. If you think Zion does not like I've heard some people accuse Zion of not caring about basketball, and if you've watched Zion Williamson play at all, um, I think you have no doubt that Zion does want to play basketball. The question really is, does
The,
he want to be in New Orleans?
Yeah, I know like
That's
the rumors that he wants to go to the Knicks. I don't know how he would deal with the New York media, bro, because they would cook him, bro. They would honestly cook him.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, right? Um, the question is, how are they doing? That being said, I also, speaking of the Pelicans, I also someone that really needs to be talked about more is a Pelicans rookie. I'm sure y'all haven't heard of him. His name is Herb Jones,
Oh
and he
yeah.
has been
I've seen him
phenomenal.
and no, I've been seeing clips of him and Jose, who's I think I believe is
Jose
from
Alvarado.
yeah he's from
Shout out to him.
Brooklyn.
He's from BK. Shout out. You know what I'm
The
saying?
rumors is that he's in a gang called Real Right, but we won't get into that. But yeah, he
Wait. Hold on.
What?
How you know he a hold on? How you know he a real right? What? Shut up.
his name is Real Right Jose on Instagram, and
Wait,
then
nah.
I'm being
Hold on. Let me get my
serious.
phone.
And
Let me
then,
get my
but what's it
phone.
called? You know, I'll be on them Reddit streets, and they be talking, they be
It's
talking.
Reddit Street. Shut up.
But yeah,
Jose
but
Alvarado.
I will always root for like a Brooklyn guy.
Oh my God. His name Carlton. His name is real right. Jose.
Hey
Oh
man,
my gosh.
Hold up.
there's another
Because
gang
I'm
member.
not sure if Carlton. Do you know what that means?
Absolutely no idea, but
Carlton,
respective.
that's a term for bloods.
There's another gang member on the Pelicans. He might be the star over there also.
You're talking about Bi.
Yeah, that's the
That's
big loc.
I think that's rumors though. I think that's
Nah,
just rumors.
I
I don't
went
know
on
about
his IG page. He's definitely a member. He's a member. But enough of that. That's not the point of this. Because I'm a bias, I'm clearly gonna go with the Pelicans. I'll say game 6. They win 6 or 7.
that.
What do you guys got?
I got Suns at 7, Suns in 6 or 7. That being said, like I said, before he interrupted me on Jose Alvarado,
Hmm.
only Herb Jones plays real defense.
Yeah.
That dude plays real defense. You do not want him checking you. He is annoying. It's not a fun time. I've seen it all season. That being said, yeah, Carlton, on to you.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna go against y'all. I'm gonna give it to the Pelicans.
I went with the
You-
Pelicans, but
Oh wow.
yeah.
Bro, I think Brandon Ingram. I see CJ McCollum there. I think that I feel like what's his name? Going out with the hamstring. That's big. That's a big hit, and I
You
feel like
mean
that's gonna
Devin
turn the
Booker?
tide. Devin Booker. I think that's gonna be big. Personally,
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
was he
it.
not playing in the first 4 games or no? I forget.
He was playing in the first couple games, first 3 or 4, and then yeah, he went out with the hamstring. And it's just real inopportune. It's not great. Uh,
Mm-hmm. I
that being
guess.
said, before we go onto the next bit, because I got a lot to say about this one. Uh, yeah, Zion. I don't know how much Zion can complain.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the only thing I see, the only problem I see so far with that team is that it's in New Orleans. I'm not saying they can't do anything to get better, but they have done what they can with Zion being out for what, 2 seasons, right? Am
Oh
I
yeah,
right
they
with that?
definitely put like the pieces around
Yeah,
there. They traded. They used the picks. Yeah,
they
they done their job. We'll say
the
that.
organization has done their job. You This is not no Sacramento Kings. This is not no, they've done their job.
Yeah.
That aside, let's get on to
Should we get into Warriors Nuggets or the Jazz and
no, no,
the?
no, 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 the Jazz.
Uh,
The,
how about we do the Warriors real quick and then since we
cool.
all think the Warriors is gonna win, right? Like
Of
Yeah,
course.
they got a new
yeah.
depth lineup. Oh man, I forgot how much I hated Warriors fans.
I think we all knew that the
Shout
moment
out,
Klay
shout
Thompson
out to
got back
Warriors. I'm a big
and the
Warriors fan.
core got back, it was gonna be over. We
You
all
know
knew
what
that.
I hate? I hate that Jordan Poole, not Jordan Poole, Gary Payton the junior or the
Gary
third.
Payton the second. The Junior is a different person.
Yeah, I hate that he's playing so well with them. He used to be like on the Lakers, like I used to
It,
watch like the Lakers when they fucking sucked, and the young guys like that was the only reason why I used to watch him, and he used to be one of those guys like I knew like he was gonna be a player, and I hate that he's with the Warriors right now. I
I
hate.
mean, I don't. The thing is that a lot of people didn't have faith in Gary Payton the second. Like
Hmm.
it's just he's not someone who's a great shooter. He takes after his father. He's a great defender.
Hmm.
Um, One thing that he doesn't take after his father in is his athleticism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Gary Payton, GP2, for short, for the purposes of expediency, is real athletic in ways that his dad wasn't. To the point that his dad jokes that
Oh
maybe,
yeah. The
maybe
mailman.
the mailman, the milkman maybe did something.
Yeah.
But
Uh.
yeah, GP2 is he's a really great defender.
Yeah.
That being
So
said,
they're up like 3-0 in that series, right?
no, no, no. It's I believe it's 3-1,
Oh
right?
yeah, they I think no
Yeah,
four.
yeah, yeah. It's 3-1. Yeah,
Okay,
they dropped one.
all right.
They dropped the last game. They dropped
Let
the last game.
let's
Jokic and Gordon came out swinging last game.
But I
let's
think Martin just said Knicks.
No,
no.
no, no.
Let's get
Well, I
into
thought I heard Knicks.
the let's get
Jokic,
into
Gordon,
the
and
one
Monte Morris.
that you wanted to talk about.
No, no, no. But before we go on, in all seriousness, I just want to say I feel bad for Jokic. Jokic gets a lot of undeserved slander, I feel like, and he's getting a lot of undeserved slander, especially now
Hmm.
that the whole Warriors series is happening.
Yeah,
Uh, and I don't know why he is, because what do you expect him to do? His
yeah. He
two
don't.
best players are his team doesn't have the personnel to deal with this. Jamal Murray would be is a good defender, and not only a great scorer, and he would be great, but he's not there. Michael Porter Jr. isn't there either, and he's a pretty good defender himself and a pretty good scorer himself. His two best players aren't there. It's just him and his supporting cast. That's it.
Yeah,
There really isn't. He
yeah.
can't do anything. But
There's not much he can.
that being
Mm,
said, on to the Jazz. The Jazz.
The Utah Jazz.
First of all, why is a
I
team in Utah called the Jazz?
Oh well, historic. Basically, they were originally in New Orleans, and
Uh,
then yeah, it's one of those things like why are the Lakers called the Lakers? There's no lakes in Cali.
mm-hmm.
Sorry, not in Cali, in Los Angeles, because they used to be in Minneapolis. That's why.
Yeah.
The name Utah Jazz is a holdover. They didn't want to give up the name because there's a lot of history around it now when New Orleans came back as a team. So they're Utah Jazz. But that being said, in general, oh man, I just to quote one of my favorite internet pundits on the Utah Jazz, and let me take up my mic and get a little closer to say this. In the words of to quote Dom 2K, the Utah Jazz are a deeply unserious team. The Utah Jazz are a deeply unserious organization.
I mean, you look at what they have, and you just gotta question what's going on over there, though.
No. You
Honestly,
look
no,
at what if you look at what they have, you understand what's going on. And
really.
I'll admit, even I, and this is partially because let's be real, right? I don't think many of us catch a lot of Utah Jazz games,
Oh,
right?
definitely not.
Yeah, they're not. Even though they are a good team, right? They're not high on the list of teams that we really want to, you know, go and watch out of all the teams that we possibly could, right? And I'll even admit that for myself, for all that like I like to watch basketball. But look, I'll say this: Rudy Gobert, that whole team construction,
Yeah.
that team not they cannot play defense. No, that most of that team cannot play defense. Sans Royce O'Neal and Rudy Gobert.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
don't. I don't think Royce is good at all. I think he's just one of those guys. Like
he's
he's
okay.
like
He's
a cheap
okay.
guy. Like they just put on a team.
No, he is. I'm not saying he's great or anything like that. He's
Hmm.
not. I wouldn't even say he's good, but he's okay. He's passable. Everyone up and down the rest of the roster, mm-mm. And this is like now, now, and more people have been talking about this on, NBA forums and Twitter, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, Gobert is not at fault for this, at least not purely.
Yeah.
Every time if you watch it now, every time now everyone's noticing, damn, the point of attack defenders, whether it's Jordan Clarkson or it's Donovan Mitchell, they're just getting their turnstiles.
Oh yeah.
They put their turnstiles, they barely put up resistance when their a pick comes, and then what do you want Gobert to do? Gobert has to come, in drop coverage, come up, and then he's not supposed to be out there. So of course he's getting cooked.
If I know one thing about Jordan Clarkson is he not gonna play defense.
Yeah, they're getting cooked every time, and it looks bad. It looks really bad. It especially looks bad now, right? Because they were playing a Mavs team without Luka Doncic up to this point.
Yeah.
They were playing a team that consists that the biggest threats on that team were Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie. And not to say that Jalen Brunson or Spencer Dinwiddie are scrubs. Love Spencer Dinwiddie, former net.
Oh
We
yeah.
developed him ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Spencer Dinwiddie. That being said, and I'm happy that injury did not hamper him so much. He's doing great. That being said, you as a team that people looked at as contenders should not be getting manhandled and toyed with by a team led by Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie. And also, let's throw in Maxi Kleber there as well.
Yeah.
Because shout out to the big German fella. He has been killing them on pick and pop. He has been killing them from three. It's been amazing to watch. It's just been incredibly hilariously bad. And Jordan Clarkson, guy out of Villanova, he sure knows how to play the pick and roll, and he's a really great,
You mean
really
Brunson?
savvy player. Hmm?
You mean Brunson? You said Clarkson.
Oh, I said Carson, but yeah, Brunson. He's a really savvy player, a really good scorer. Even with like his size, he's a guy who's like about 6'1", 6 foot flat maybe, and he's out there killing them. He gave them a 40-piece McNuggets, man.
Yeah. I knew he was
Like
gonna be good, but I didn't think he was gonna be that good though. It's
No,
like
that's
I
100.
know there's like a couple players like you just know how to play basketball correctly. He's
Yeah,
one of
Jalen
those.
Brunson was one of those guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
you could tell they're well coached at Villanova, like Mikael Bridges, Josh Hart, that whole team. I'm
yeah.
surprised
Oh,
they didn't
that being
have
said,
more.
Jay Wright, this is just like a slight side note because you
Oh
mentioned
yeah,
talking about Villanova. He says he might retire,
yeah.
which is crazy because he's one of the he's one of the younger guys in that upper echelon of coaching greats that's out there in college. But he says he might be retiring. With that being said,
Isn't it because like of like the NIL rule or something like that?
I don't remember exactly. I just remember he mentioned that he might be retiring. That
Okay.
being said, yeah, it's just once I saw how things are going the first two games, I that was enough to convince me. The Jazz, they're gonna get cooked. I knew because they're getting it real bad now with just Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson. Once Luca comes back,
Yeah, he played a game already, right?
yep, he played the last game. He played the last game, and now Dallas carries the series 3-2.
Mm.
And it just looks real bad. Luca dropped 33 on him. Brunson dropped 24. It's just it's not good. It's not good at all. And it Jesus. For your FYI, that game that Luca played was not even close.
Oh
Do you
yeah.
know what the score is?
What was it?
77 to 102.
You can't be scoring 77 in a playoff game, man. What the fuck is going on?
Bro, they can't. This is a team. This is a and to be fair, right? This is why a lot of people were saying like, the Mavs can hold out for a little while, maybe until
Luca's
Luca comes
healthy.
back. Without Luca, look, for all that Luca is great, Luca is not a great defender. He's
Yeah.
not a total turnstile, but he's passable.
Yeah.
And the Mavs, if I recall correctly, were a top 10 defense in the league. And
Jason
Luca is
Kidd.
not a reason why.
Jason Kidd, the one that got away.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Frank Vogel was supposed to be the defensive guy, and now Jason Kidd's with the Mavs, and they got a top 10 defense, and we look like a mess.
I mean, I'm not
Enough
gonna lie,
about my
I have
Lakers.
to, as much as I don't like Jason Kidd as a person, also I found out I only found out that like late last year that Jason Kidd's actually black.
He is?
Yes, Jason Kidd's half black.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know until I didn't know until like late last year.
That's crazy.
I thought Buddy was white the whole time. That being said, as much as I don't like Jason Kidd as a person, I do not like him as an individual at all. I will give credit where credit is due as a to him as a coach. He's done a great job. He turned this team into a top 10 defense. He's really done a pretty good job coaching them. It's just yeah, that's really all that has to be said about the Jazz.
Yeah.
Uh, I just after this, once they lose, because there's no question about this. This series is over now
Yeah.
that Luka. It already looked bad, like them going 2-2 against a team with against a Mavs team with no Luca, but they're going to lose with Luca there now. It's about done. It's about wraps. With all
Yeah.
that being said, uh, the Utah Jazz, they're just gonna need to blow it up. That's it.
I'm not
There,
gonna. I'll take Jordan Clarkson back on the Lakers. I'll take him back.
I don't even know that. Maybe the lack of
Depends if
defense is
Westbrook is gone, because we can't have him and Westbrook not playing defense. But enough about my Lakers.
but before we go on, Utah, like I said, they got to blow it up. Quinn Snyder, I think Quinn Snyder's a good coach. He's really done what he can with that roster. That being said, everybody, all the players though, you can keep Quinn Snyder. The players though, just start shipping a bunch of them out. Donovan Mitchell,
Who would you
which
build
I actually
around?
is Donovan Mitchell's contract up actually this year?
No, he signed a max.
He signed a max. Hold on. So
Yeah.
how long is he
So
there for?
I'm pretty sure.
He oh wow ooh, he's there till 2000. He's there till 2006, my guy.
Yeah. Who would you build around? Rudy
Not just
or Mitchell?
no. I'm saying blow it all up,
Oh,
all of it, all of it. This team is clearly not going to win, and the worst place to be in the NBA is a middling team that everybody knows cannot win.
hmm.
And people already believed before this series that the Jazz were pretenders, and this just solidifies that you can't win with this team. Just blow it up. Just blow it up. Just blow it up. Ship them out for some draft picks. Back to the lottery. Back to the drawing board. That's really all I gotta say.
Well, I think that's all the Western Conference teams. Uh,
Yes. Yeah, so
and breaking news: the Hawks got are eliminated from the playoffs. They lost to
yeah,
the Heat. Yeah,
Wait, who?
that
Wait,
was
what?
the Hawks they're
the Hawks were
eliminated.
eliminated by
Oh
the
yeah,
Mavs
yeah. I saw that.
4-1.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
Heat. Yeah, I saw that.
I'm guessing the Bulls are next.
Trey Young, they they really made Trey Young disappear with their defense. The
I
Heat.
mean, I feel like it's. I know they got. I feel like they need like that wing presence. Like I know. I think that's what they drafted. They have Hunter. I don't know. They might be like in a Timberwolves situation where they need like that energy and that dog on that team.
I don't think that it's a matter of the thing with is I don't think it's a matter of they just need like some dog in them or something. They don't really have, you know, the personnel to be a particularly great defensive team. And
Sure.
on top of that,
You think they're probably. You think Hunter is probably like
I
the.
think Hunter. No, I think Hunter's a plus defender, right? But like
I would
John
say like
Collins,
he's like their best in terms of the starting lineup, right?
yeah. But John Collins not a plus defender.
Yeah.
Kevin Huerter's a pretty decent defender, but not great. Uh,
If you look,
Danilo Gallinari is he couldn't really defend even on his best days back when he
hmm
was a young guy. Shout out to Danilo, still being a walking bucket at his age here in the NBA, but he's not that guy. He was never that guy.
I feel
Um,
like if you look at them like through like how the Warriors, since well, I think that's like the obvious comparison, right? With like the point
uh,
guard,
it's the
the
surface level
yeah,
comparison.
I feel like they're missing like that Draymond, like that guy that's gonna do all the dirty work, that's gonna like he doesn't care about getting points. He'll come out there, get put help in the offense where he can, but on the defense, that's where he's gonna shine.
I
It's
I
not too many guys like that, but
I get what you're saying, but
uh-huh.
I this is also where like I come to again. The whole Trey Young, Steph Curry it's a really surface level comparison because part of what makes Draymond so useful, right? Not just on the defensive end, but
He's
on the
the ball
offensive end,
handler on the offense.
his passing, his ball handling. Curry and Draymond, and in general, a lot of other players on Golden State, but you notice a lot with Draymond. Part of what it is that Curry plays off ball a lot. Curry,
Yeah,
it,
that's
it's
true.
part of what makes Curry great, right? Curry just kind of he's always moving around. He's even like without the ball in his hand, right? He's always out here,
Yeah.
making himself a threat on offense, whereas that's just not Trey Young. He
So,
doesn't do that.
what's your guys' ideas for like the next step for them?
I genuinely am not sure. I haven't really been thinking about the Hawks. I need to look into it a little
Mm.
bit more.
They made the
That be
conference finals last year, right?
they did they?
Yeah, yeah, they played the Bucks, right? Yeah, I believe so. Because they beat the Knicks, then they beat whoever else they played, and then
Um
they went on to face the Bucks, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. You're right. No, you're right.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to stay on that much on that team. Bucks and Bulls. Bucks are
Well,
clearly gonna.
yeah, it's the Bucks. He's a
Yeah.
And
uh,
Zach Levine just went to COVID protocol too, so
yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah, that should be a wrap in that
Oh
series.
wow. I genuinely feel bad for the Bucks.
You mean Bulls?
Sorry, not the Bucks, the Bulls. I genuinely do.
Mm-hmm.
This is
I,
I feel sorry for all Chicago sports fans because this is just a case where hope was put in front of them and God snatched it away. You know what I'm saying?
I think
This is
without Lonzo, they weren't gonna win that series.
it, not just that, right? But you know, they would have been in a better position, you know, if they had a better ranking, right? But they ended up getting back to six because you had Lonzo going out in January, and you had
Yeah,
Caruso, who was also really integral to that offense. In fact, you can if you watch the way they played pre Lonzo getting injured, it's very different from the way they played after, right? Where you're really seeing a lot of DeRozan ISOs and DeRozan handling the ball a lot more, right?
yeah, he had that role with the Spurs, like that point guard role.
Yeah, exactly. It's just at the end of the day, it's just they have a lot of potential. They still I still would call this season a success for them because no one thought they would be this good, and they've
Yeah,
been really great. They just had a lot of misfortune this year. Hopefully, the coming season after this one, they can come back healthy. uh, that being said, uh,
Bucks.
The Bucks,
Yeah.
they tried to punk. They kind of forgot how to play for a second.
Hmm.
For like one game particularly, I believe it was the game that the Bulls won. They didn't run a whole lot of plays. They kind of played Giannis kind of played like old Giannis, where he just charges at the rim and tries to dunk on people and stuff. It was very strange. It was just it felt like they didn't respect, you know, the Bulls at all, and they got, you
Did
know,
Middleton get
for trying to punk them.
injured? Or I feel like
Yeah, I believe so. Middleton did get injured, if I recall
how
correctly.
long is he out for?
Let me check.
Feel like it was. I saw something. It might have been a serious one.
Jeez. He's been ruled out ahead of the next game.
Yeah, I guess they'll get some rest if they close this series out and hope for him to get back at some point in the playoffs. But I
Yeah,
guess
no.
that series is basically much over. So I guess
Yeah,
the
it
next one we can get into is the Raptors 76ers.
that's been I'm
Interesting.
surprised that it's gone the way that it has, to be honest. I kind of expected to just, you know, watch the 76ers do them dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But that hasn't exactly happened.
I think there's.
We're
I don't know if it's Harden or
Harden
I.
has underperformed.
Yeah, I don't. Harden hasn't looked right all year. Like I don't know what's going on with him. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say I watch the Seven Sixers a lot. I know probably missing what's his name. What's that dude's name? The defensive guy, Tybo.
Tybalt, yeah,
Yeah, I
Matisse
know.
Tybalt is unable to play due to the fact that
Yeah,
he does not have the COVID vaccine, which, if you know Matisse Tybalt's background, is not a surprise.
isn't his
Old
mom
with
like a doctor or some shit like that?
She is not a doctor. She is not a doctor. I will repeat, she is not a doctor.
Oh,
She is a natural. She
oh,
sorry, and once again, I will say this with all due respect. She was a naturopath. She Matisse Taibel's mother actually is deceased very recently.
oh shit.
Unfortunately, R.I.P. to his mother Elizabeth Taibel.
Oh damn. I'm sorry to him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I guess I I don't see the 76ers losing that series, honestly.
I don't see it either. I will admit that I have not watched particularly a lot of that series, but
Same.
there's something to be said about the fact that if you have not heard, Embiid has a thumb injury,
Oh yeah, he does.
a
Oh yeah,
ligament
they're
injury.
gonna need what's his name to step up then Harden.
Not really just Harden, but also their sophomore Tyrese Maxey, who has
Oh,
been great for them this year. He's really stepped up for them.
my
Uh,
Kentucky blue blood.
he has been that guy for not not the number one option or anything, but he's been really great at point guard for them.
Hmm.
Uh, Shout out to him. That being said, James Harden has just in general been underperforming, and whether or not the 76ers get into the finals, which is looking a little questionable as of recent
Yeah,
with the whole injuries and Harden underperforming and
I would
stuff.
think the Bucks would go all the way to the finals.
I
Actually, not even because the Middleton injury thing.
let's
It'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is that it's interesting for the Sixers because at the end of the day, the Sixers just kind of have a bit of a dilemma on their hand, right?
Hmm.
Because Harden, let's be real, right, has been underperforming. But the thing about it is, right, and this is why like I'm not super panicking about the Ben Simmons, though I'm not excited to have Ben Simmons on the Nets.
Yeah,
He is a
we'll get
head
into that.
case.
We'll get into that.
But that being said, the problem with Harden is you're looking at Harden and this entire year he has not exactly looked like himself, and you have to question if that injury really took a toll on him, and if maybe the next season, right, he'll come back after rehabbing fully healthy and be the Harden that we know him as, or if this is going to be the Harden you're going to get right now, like
Hmm.
from now on, which is not a bad player, right? When he's doing well, he gives you about 20 or so points and definitely, right, close to the 10 assists, but the defense is not there. Um, the effort sometimes seems not there. He he's made some not great decisions driving to the rim at times. I've watched. It's just kind of you kind of have to question that because his contract is up. His contract is up. Once the season is over, he can sign with whoever the hell he wants. And you are going to have to take that risk if you are the 76ers. You're going to have to think about this and try and probably take that risk to sign him and throw a bunch of money at him. And if this is the Harden you're getting, he is not going to be worth the amount of money that Harden will undoubtedly be asking for.
Yeah. Uh, well, let's get into our hometown team, the Brooklyn
Oh,
Nets, the as we like to say in the world of football, the Ballers. That's who they are.
oh man.
Uh,
The
Carlton,
Nets.
what's your take on the Nets? Carlton?
Let me tell you something about the Nets, right?
Yeah.
All throughout Twitter in that whole series, it was just clowning, clowning. Everybody's talking about OKD. We always say if LeBron's not the best player on the planet, it's KD, right? Kyrie, you already know him as Stephen A. Oh, Kyrie's the most selfish basketball player on the planet,
Mm,
and it's like You can't fault these things now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the Brooklyn Nets that you cave so hard against this Celtics team. We're not even going to touch on Ben
It's
Simmons yet. I'm
no,
not going to touch
no,
on Ben
we're
Simmons.
not gonna touch on that yet. But
Let's break them. Let's break it
so
down.
Let's go ahead.
Let's start.
I'm
Let's start
I'm
with
gonna say,
KD's play. How about that? Let's
oh man. So all
Roasted.
right. So first of all, if we're gonna talk about this, right, the first thing we kind of have to talk about is like because you're talking about the Nets caved like this. Look, man, the first thing we gotta talk about is the Celtics since have they became the number one defense in the league, and they
hmm
showed why this series they are the number one defense in the league.
They have a
They
defensive player of the year.
which I personally do not think that I personally do not think that he should have won that.
hmm
Uh, Marcus Smart should have won that. But that being said, I just it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, this is an elite defense. They have the personnel to be an elite defense. Robert Williams, who didn't play a lot, who only played in the last game, was really, really great. He's a great defender, a guy who's pretty mobile as a big, very athletic, great shot blocker. Uh, they got Derek White, who has greatly improved their defense despite being not a great 3-point shooter. Marcus Smart, we already know about him, right?
Yeah.
The surprise for me has been, and Jalen Brown has always been a pretty good defender. The surprise for me has been Jason Tatum has made incredible strides as a defender
Yeah.
this season, and he showed that. But that being said, all of that individual shit is not what we need to talk about. What we need to talk about is the scheme they ran. The Celtics absolutely, if you watch that game, they absolutely refused to leave KD alone. They refused to. And KD was just multiple times both not strong with the ball and would get, he'd lose the ball or they'd just, kind of take it from him or force him to throw a bad pass. KD was just kind of very determined to try and when he got the ball do things his way from start to finish and try and play one on one when the Celtics decided no, we're not going to play you one on one. We're not going to do that. We're going to swarm you with double teams every time you try and get in the mid range. Every time you try to get to your spots, we are going to make you uncomfortable. We're going to make you try. We're going to try and make you make a decision and try and get the ball to someone else and have them beat us. And sometimes you're not even with the way they played him. He didn't even get to throw the pass to his teammates, right?
Yeah.
If you watch the last game, I mean, Bruce Brown had 26 points. I believe it was game 3. He had
hmm
26 points. They were perfectly content to deal with that. And
Sometimes
with
you
all
let the
the
others get the points, and you lock up
yeah,
the main guy.
in by game 3 and 4, you're watching it, right? The defense had somewhat lightened up a bit, right? But KD was just he still, with that being said, right, it's still KD. He got like 20 plus points,
hmm
almost 30 points, right? But that being said, I was watching KD miss shots that he would just make in his sleep, from mid range, and they just were not going in. You know what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
I mean,
was
The,
not.
that's what makes you a superstar, though, Ari. Like, I agree. And personally, like, for anyone that doesn't know, I didn't watch the games. I haven't been so in the NBA as of recent due to live stuff. But we everybody compares it to LeBron and the 2018 Cavaliers team and how they went against the Celtics, and of course they were attacking LeBron the same way they was attacking KD. This is
hmm
what
Not
makes
not
you a
the
superstar. Nah,
exact
nah,
same way,
nah,
right?
nah, bro. Come on, bro.
No,
Just
I'm
listen.
just saying on a scheme basis, right? They didn't have the same plan, obviously, because LeBron and KD, both great players, not the same. Not you're not going to throw the same, defense at them, right? They play differently, but
I understand that, but at the same time, you're gonna make a game plan where you're gonna try and shut down the player. KD and LeBron are two of the most dominant, if not the most dominant players on the planet, apart from Giannis. All right, that's who they are. This is where I start talking like Stephen A. Because,
Oh my
of
gosh!
course, you're
Oh
gonna
my
get the
gosh! Oh my
what?
gosh! Are you watching the Two Bulls game? Oh my
No, I'm
Yeah, I
god!
not.
saw. I saw. I didn't want to say anything. I
Oh
didn't
my
want to say
gosh!
Uh,
anything because we're in
Ant
this
is that
conversation.
guy. Oh my gosh! Sorry about that, but oh my
Yeah,
god!
Ant just hit a. Was it an and one too? Right?
I don't know if it was an N one. I know it
don't-
was.
But look,
I know he
he hit
just
a
made
he
the.
hit a 3-point shot in the corner, a fadeaway
Hmm.
for to tie up the game. Ja
oh
just
my
looked
god,
distraught.
golly. But yeah, like Katie, like you're gonna go through that pressure. I mean, you gotta find a way to get out of that funk. You can't. And listen, this is where the Twitter wars come in. Katie tweeting and all
Oh
these
my
other
god!
people tweeting. Like I don't
Mhm.
even want to get into that. At the end of the day, and I agree with a lot of these people talking about the games and the players. You're a professional NBA star. You are the Kevin Durant. That should be light
It,
work for you. Not necessarily light work, but that's something for you that
you find a way to
you
work through
find
it.
a way, and also you have found ways to overcome before. So I don't understand how people could be like trying to give him a pass and stuff. Like,
Yeah, you
No, no,
can't
I don't
no.
give
I don't
understand
KD
think.
a
that.
I don't think
pass.
any. I don't think anyone's giving him a pass. I haven't seen anyone do that at all.
See,
But that being said, you know, it's just like I said, Katie, and something that I saw a couple people bring up. Actually, I'll talk about that a little later. But Katie is he just was not making very good decisions on the floor, and the Celtics they made up their mind that we are going to swarm KD or particularly Katie, but also Kyrie every time with double teams, every time one of them had the ball, right? And they were just kind of sitting there. You kind of watched if you watch the games, you kind of just watched all of the Celtics players just staring them down. You know what I'm saying? Wherever they were on the floor, just on
Oh my
defense, just
gosh!
staring exact like you saw you know what I'm talking about because you watched it right, Mar.
Yeah.
Like legitimately just everyone is staring directly at them, and there's just something to be said about the way the way that the Nets played as an offense and executed as an offense. And to be fair, you can definitely argue um and this is the thing that I think some people are trying to blame, especially Nets fans. I've seen this have been trying to blame, you know, Steve Nash for this. I don't blame Steve Nash for this.
He shouldn't have had
People,
that job in the first place, though.
no, 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 not even. I don't blame Steve Nash for this. Not because only because it's forget about that, right? But like first of all, right, people are saying he didn't make adjustments, blah blah. Look, just because you're a goddamn casual and you can't identify a goddamn no for real. Like I'm being 100%. And Stan Van Gundy, actually, and not to say that I agree with everything Stan Van Gundy always says, but like something that he said, which really struck a chord with me, was that Stan Van Gundy said, just because you can't see the adjustments being made doesn't mean that adjustments aren't being made. He's
Yeah.
not just sitting there, freaking sitting there with his thumb up his ass. Like, what? Like, you think it's not a problem for him watching this happen? You think he doesn't know that people are gonna scrutinize the shit out of him? As a first, second season coach for effectively what was supposed to be a super team, right? Like, you think that's not going to happen, that he's not thinking about that he's not going to try and do something about it. They sent different looks at, he was pretty creative with the use of, the various players he had, and he sent different looks at Jason Tatum, who no one on the Celtics could guard him. No one, sorry, on the Nets could guard him. All right,
Yeah.
not one person on the Nets could guard him. Um, and the Nets, look, the Nets just did not. They didn't play on offense very well. I didn't like the way they played offense at all. Me being a Golden State fan, I'm very much a fan of ball movement. Very much a fan of everybody touching the ball, everybody doing their part. not just every people going one on one and just driving and kicking, which is why I personally I sometimes I don't really like LeBron's game at times, right? Because of LeBron does a fair amount of this type of stuff, though it's not all he does, but like it's just at the end of the day, it's a very stagnant offense, and I wasn't a fan of it from the start, and well, it bared out what it bared out now. And on top of that, another thing to say is the Nets didn't have the personnel for this. Like, come
Yeah.
on, we had Kyrie out there guarding Jalen Brown and sometimes even Seth Curry out there. Like, these are not people who are good defenders on their, you know, who are good defenders, right? And on top of that, you've got them matched up with out of position. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jalen Brown has a full 5 goddamn inches over both of these guys, and we were watching, them pick out these people, and they were doing exactly what they wanted. They were getting what they wanted. They were, getting these switches out there, and look, man, there's just no substitute for height sometimes. And having Patty Mills and Kyrie and Goran Dragic, old people who are, below 6'5" out there, not really able to defend, well, not great. It's just it's not yeah, it's not a formula for winning.
Should we talk about the dramatics that Kyrie brings and his statement that when he resigns that he wants to him and KD should be basically helping the GM pick out. I know, like
What?
he said a statement
Yeah, I seen
somewhat
this statement.
about like
Yeah.
when the vision me and KDC basically he wants to go into acting like he's a general manager. I don't know what's wrong with
Yeah, I
Kyrie.
seen that.
No, hold on. You gotta find this for me
All
because
right, let me try
I'm
to
in front
find
of
it.
my computer right now. Let me.
I
You
got
you
you.
search for it too, but yeah. What the hell? Okay. Hold on. When I say I'm here with Kev, I think that really entails us managing this franchise together alongside Nets owner Joe Tsai and general manager Sean Marks and just our group of family members that we. No. You shut the hell up. You are not the general manager.
Yeah, that's all I'm
You're a
saying.
basketball player. Look, look, and I say this to LeBron too, because LeBron wanted, and people have been trying to do revisionism on this. LeBron wanted Westbrook.
Yeah, he
Okay,
did. No one's
people
gonna
have been
lie.
trying to do historical revisionism on this. LeBron wanted Westbrook, so he told them to get Westbrook. Okay, and look how that turned out. I don't like players trying to play GM. I'm not
Yeah.
that.
Let me
I'm
tell you
not a
something.
fan of it at all.
And touching on what Ari just said, I'm gonna bring something from like football, like soccer, that points to this. Like, I was watching some videos talking the other day and talk about Manchester United and all these players, and I'm not gonna drag on about the soccer, but what somebody said was, we've now elevated the player above like the coach or the GM or the people like running the show behind the scenes that maybe know the big picture. You can't do that as an organization in a sports team. The moment that happens, bad things happen. LeBron, for example, Bron, I love you, and everybody calls him GM LeBron. That's great.
Le
What happened?
GM.
Legit, yeah.
Legit.
What happened this season, bro? You have Magic on ESPN talking about how, oh, you could have had a DeRozan. Then
Magic's a clown himself. He. We're not gonna
yeah,
get into Magic, but
and then you get Westbrook. Look how that's worked out. The moment the player, and let me get this straight. We all know there are some superstars that after they retire, I'm sure they can get into the business and be great.
I
But
think
as a player, you
I don't.
cannot
I don't think there's
basically.
like anything wrong with like a guy going, oh, check out this guy, and then
No.
running
There's
it by
nothing
by.
wrong with that.
But like what
Nobody's
Kyrie
saying
said, Kyrie can't say that after getting swept, man.
Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
say
not,
that.
not even just after getting swept,
And
but
I
I'm
felt the
not.
BS he pulled this year. Like Come on.
It's not even like after all this BS or getting sweat. I just don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
Never
Period.
understand it.
Point blank. Period. It's just
I'll
I
never
was
understand
not a
it.
fan of it. I was not a fan of it when LeBron was doing it. If Curry tried to say some shit like that, I would chastise Curry for that too. And Curry is my guy. Curry is my favorite player.
Hmm.
But I would chastise that him for that too.
I
I'm not a fan of it. You know
I
what I'm
will
saying?
never, bro. I will never understand it. And
Yeah.
then it's the context too. Like you just got swept. You're Kyrie Irving playing with Kevin Durant with
And
role players that are very good. By the way, you have Seth Curry. Was Seth Curry healthy that series or no?
Yeah.
Seth was healthy. Seth was healthy.
You
Yes.
got Seth. You got big men. Like you have
No,
the team
we
to at
didn't
least
really have
get.
big men who were really able to handle this situation.
No, I
We
don't. I'm
really
not.
I
leaned
mean,
heavily on
did you hear
Claxton.
what Bruce Brown said? He was like, "They don't got Robert Williams. We're gonna go Al Horford. You can't say stuff like that and
They
not
did
back
not
it
go at
up.
Al Horford like that
You
at
can't
all.
back it.
Anyway,
You gotta back it up. They've been
and Al Horford was killing us.
yeah.
Oh, it was
He
right. He was
was
right.
killing us.
Oh, yo, very underrated player by the way, Al Horford. But we're
Kyrie,
not
No,
here for the Celtics.
he's been underrated forever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
my
like,
very he
like
was killing us from three. That being said,
Kyrie went from he just got I don't know, man. He got
he's become
Harden.
him and KD have become two of the most hated players in the association.
His
yo,
COVID shit got basically made Harden request a trade, and
that
then
that
he and
that alone is weird. By the
like
way,
No. Yeah, like, bruh,
it's your
look.
body, your choice, but like come on, dude. Like first of all, he's not even anti-vaccine. He's anti-mandate. What the bro? What, bro?
Bro,
We're not getting into this.
the thing is, bro, look, and I will say this, all right? I'm not gonna act like I was not someone who, tried to defend Kyrie in the past, right? And
Yeah.
when I say in the past, I'm talking about a very specific time when he went to the Celtics, right? And then he left the Celtics. I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna sit here and like, have everybody just slander Kyrie like this. I haven't really heard that much from management or the Celtics themselves, right? I understand Celtics fans, despite and of course obligatory New York, fuck you, Boston, but like I understand Celtics fans feeling some type of way because we would feel some type of way if some shit like this happened, right? Especially you saying you're going to resign and then you don't.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, I'm not gonna have like sit here and just slander the man. But then he comes here and he just shows himself, and especially when he was on on the Cavaliers, I defended him with the whole LeBron thing where they tried to sun him by saying like, how is
LeBron as a father figure.
yeah, that's I was like, what the hell is that? Like you trying to sun him? Like they're not even that far apart in age. What the hell? But like
Yeah.
once he got to the Nets and the head case antics just started really rolling in, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just not been great. And the thing that really all I could think about with him being quote unquote anti-vax or anti-mandate or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Kyrie Irving, I don't know if y'all know this, but Kyrie Irving is his mother was a member of I believe the Blackfoot tribe.
Mhm.
Like Kyrie Irving is half Native American. And the thing that's really funny to me because Kyrie is someone who really big ups his Native American heritage and shout out to Kyrie. He does, a lot of like charity work and like advocating for them and stuff. But the Blackfoot tribe is a tribe that they were very much the Native Americans in general, all across America, were very much pro vaccination because the Native Americans very much they know their history. They know, hey, we've been wiped out by all type of disease and shit for a long, long while. You know what I'm saying?
Even if
It's
even if you don't even bring that part up,
oh yeah, but
The guy went to. I'm guessing he went. I know how it is with us in New York. I'm guessing it's the same in Jersey. You have to take a vaccine to go to school. He had to take like 11 vaccines to go to
Oh,
Duke.
so I'm sorry. By the way, it's the Standing Rock tribe
Yeah,
specifically.
like you have to take vaccines to go to school all your life. All of a sudden, like I don't get it, man. Like,
Oh, okay. So hold on. Sorry, my fault. He is part of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. His mother was Lakota specifically, or
okay,
also known as Teton Sioux. But that being said, I'm just saying specifically because I don't want to confuse people or
yeah,
or be disrespectful. But that being said, the Native American people, particularly the Standing Rock tribe, were very much get your goddamn get your vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody needs to get vaccinated. This is a serious health problem. And yet Kyrie's out here doing this, right? And saying all this, yeah, sitting there saying all this nonsense, playing fake woke philosopher. Like, come on.
yeah. Well, that's been all the series, right? That
Yeah, it is. And now we have and I don't, well, before I say that, I don't blame James for wanting to get out of that situation
yeah.
because you did not know what was going to happen. Kyrie was maintaining standing firm in his stance on the vaccine. Um, and not even just that. Look, look how you must look, right? Look how you gotta feel sitting there watching Kevin, defend like Kyrie's ridiculous stance. Because let's be real, his stance was ridiculous.
Yeah,
It
I
didn't
heard
make
that Katie just got like the one dose just for the rules and shit. I don't know. I can't confirm it, but that's what I heard. That he got like one dose of it. That way he didn't have to worry
Right.
about like the mandate
I
and
mean,
shit.
I have not really heard anything about that. I have nothing to believe that, so I'm respectfully gonna disregard that.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, it's just not great. I'm not this team. We need to bolster it and supplement it with some better players, particularly defensive wings,
Yeah.
or and in general players, guards that can play defense. But if I recall correctly, this upcoming off season is not exactly chock full of what we're looking for.
Yep. Gonna be a
Uh,
lot of teams on the market. So
yeah. That being said, I just am not looking forward to dealing with Kyrie again. Hopefully, the next season we will be able to get better, and they'll learn from this. And and I'd like to say to both of you, I'm sorry I'm being so lengthy here,
you good.
but yeah, like in all seriousness, like I don't know what the fuck it is, but something that someone I saw someone bring up, right, that really like kind of got me a little annoyed, not because what they said was wrong, but it got me kind of mad at KD. Was they were talking about how back when KD was on the Warriors, he was really out there like trying to fuck with, like, argue with Steve Kerr about like the way they played, and he wanted to play a more ISO heavy style, right?
Mhm.
Whereas they were trying to do the typical Warriors evolution of the Spurs, free flowing,
Mhm.
very much ball movement heavy offense, which is a very, very successful system, right? And have that mixed in with a couple, some KD ISOs mixed in, right? Because we've all remembered that those days, which I'm sure all of the non-Warriors fans hated when KD was on the Warriors, right? They
Yeah.
did typical free flowing offense with some KD ISOs mixed in, right? Like KD had the ball a lot less compared to both his time in the Thunder and his time here in the Nets, but it was very efficient scoring. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
of the way they operated, and he was sitting there arguing with Kerr to try and turn it into a more ISO heavy based offense,
That's
and here he is doing the same thing again. And oh, big surprise, it ain't working too well, is it, Kev?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I guess we don't gotta talk anymore about the Nets anymore. That the pain is
Well, there's
done.
one thing.
What?
We the elephant in the room,
What?
Ben Simmons.
Uh, I think I think he needs to go to sports therapy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't even know if it's a sports therapy thing. The one thing I will say this one specific thing in defense of, in fairness and defense of Ben. Uh, I don't know if the whole "oh, he's gonna play game 4" thing is something that really was a actual suggestion.
Hmm.
Sorry, an actual suggestion, or just a bluff by the Nets organization. I would not be surprised if that was simply a bluff by the Nets organization, point blank, period. So a lot of people are getting on him about like, oh, you didn't even suit up. It's possible that like they never even meant for him to suit up in the first place, and they knew he wasn't ready. But
Yeah. Well,
that being said,
I guess
like I said,
this is gonna be the end. Carlton, you wanna take us out?
Yeah, man. Listen, I had myself to say on Ben Simmons. I'm not even gonna bother, bro. I'm just saying, like, as a player, I'd expect you to have some. Like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Don't get me wrong. So he has the benefit of the doubt on that. That we don't know what's going on
yeah.
behind the scenes as much as we already know.
Mm-hmm.
But I would expect you as a player to have
Some pride.
enough pride. This is the playoffs. Help your team, man. That's your legacy, man.
I
I'd
mean,
expect him to have some pride.
the problem with that is, right now they're saying he has a herniated disc in his spine,
I
which is
heard
like,
that.
what?
I,
So which is why I say I don't I think this whole he might play game 4 thing was a bluff. Like, I think this
Yeah.
was a bluff by the goddamn organization, right?
and if it is, then we got to talk about that too.
I mean, this is not the first time something like that has been done by an organization, right? So I'm not going to make a big deal about this. But my thing is, whatever's going on with him, he needs to get that shit in order before the next season, and
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
add a jump shot to his goddamn arsenal. Because
Yeah.
look, man, look, I'm sitting here. The Suns Pelicans game is playing right now in front of me, and I am watching campaign. Do you remember what Cameron Payne was like on the Thunder back in the day?
Oh
yep.
yeah.
Cameron Payne couldn't shoot for shit. And now he's out here sinking three after three after three. Shout out to Cam Payne, by the way. The man was out the goddamn league for a long while. And now he's back, and he came back and he played a really big contributing role for the Phoenix Suns, partly because he improved as a shooter.
Yeah.
So get on that, Ben.
Bro, listen. I will always talk about getting back in the lab, bro. I will always talk about that. I feel like, and I'm not even trying to like make these players to be, how do I put it? Like not bums in the sense that they feel like they've accomplished what they needed to. Like they made it to the NBA and that's about it. They can coast. Like
It's
there's there's a part of your game that's not working that needs to improve. You need to get back in the lab and find a way to make it work because like with this net situation, it really does look like he's just robbing the Nets of millions of dollars to sit on
the
that
thing
bench.
is Ben Simmons has quit at every like at college he quit to go to the NBA. He quit
I
on
mean,
he
I
quit on the
I don't.
Sixers. I know, but like at some
Argue
point,
for
like
the
you
college
can't
part.
keep quitting, bro. At
I,
some
I
point, like it's in your DNA. At some
I'll
point,
so okay. This is, and I hate having to defend this man, but I'll argue on the college part. 100%. In when he played for LSU, that LSU team was not a particularly good team at all. The coach was not particularly great. That great. It wasn't a really great, organization at that time. Shout out to LSU now. They got a new coach. They've been doing well. Terry Eason is a guy who's going to get drafted this year. That's gonna be really great. But yeah, like it's just that's somewhat of a different thing. But the problem is for Ben Simmons is that Ben Simmons for a long, long while has been a guy that everybody from when he was in college, right, which is when I really started hearing about this, about Ben being a bit of a head case. Like I remember hearing stories, and maybe I tried to look this up so that I could back this up. I couldn't find it, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing that really came into my mind, that comes to my mind every fucking time, was him back when he was in Australia, right? Like people would call him the Yankee because like he was just so fucking arrogant. Like
Wow.
they were like, "Oh, he's an arrogant fucking American." Like, and that's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm maybe this is incorrect information. Maybe at some point I will find it. But that's something that sticks in my head so damn bad.
I mean, it's gotta be said. It has to be said. But this looks like it's gonna be it for the podcast today. It's been Mar, it's been Ari, it's been CP. Not much of CP, but you know,
Yeah.
I was here in spirit.
Yeah, we'll get a football episode up
Exactly.
sometime this week. So
Yeah, some for you, some for you.
yeah,
So
Ari's more of like the NBA
analysts, exactly.
correspondent. Yeah,
We need that because right now I've been slacking on the NBA side of things, but
I am too.
It's really sad. You really should and like especially because I know you're going to be finishing up with college like this semester or so. You really
yeah,
should like get on that because the NBA
definitely.
is looking beautiful, man. It's the most competitive it's been in a
Yeah,
long while.
not
Uh
a lot of super like. Well, I mean, they're super teams, but it's
what's a
not
super
super team
team?
heavy. It's right, bro. I mean, it's not super team. The Warriors are a super team still.
The Warriors are no, because that's
Nah, listen,
we're not
listen.
no okay,
Curry,
so see
Steph,
now we're about to
Steph,
debate this.
Steph,
No,
Clay,
we're
and
not.
Draymond. I'm sorry, that's a super team to me. That's a core right there that can end any team. Personally,
That's a major core, yes, but that I wouldn't call it a super team, right? Because
Yeah.
what let's think about what we were talking about whenever we talked about the super team. When we were talking about super teams, we were talking about Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen signing to one team, right? Three top, like, top 15, top 20 players jumping on one team to go and like win a championship, right? That's what I think of whenever I think about a super team. So in my opinion, the only team that really fit this description these days was was the Lakers and the Nets, and both
Yeah.
of them failed.
Yeah.
yeah, miserably,
Well, yeah.
miserably.
This has been our second episode. Thanks Ari for pulling up, and I
Sure.
guess we'll be back whenever we
You're
are.
welcome, man.
Yeah.